Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome. My name is Madhav. I welcome you all in the next session. We call it as revision for the finance current affairs. So today we will be revising all the important finance current affairs related MCQs based on May month. तो जो भी May month से related important finance related current affairs थी उनमें जो भी questions बन सकते थे I have crafted those questions for you and I'm pretty sure you are going to enjoy today's discussion. So before I start with the discussion, may I have a reply in the comment section that I'm audible, visible, everything is fine, we are good to go, so that we can begin the discussion without any further delay. Good evening everyone, good evening. May I have a reply that yes, I'm audible, so that we can start. And if you haven't shared the link of this session with your friends, then I would request you quickly copy the link of this session, share it with your friends so that more and more students they can join us live. ठीक है, आज का सेशन काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई हैव अराउंड 50 क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द मंथ ऑफ मे एंड वी विल बी कंप्लीटिंग द एंटायर सेशन इन 50 minutes, 100 minutes, 2 minutes for every question I have decided from my side. But let's see कितनी जल्दी हम इसे कवर कर पाएंगे, because it's more of a revision session where I want you to revise more and more content without investing much time. और याद रखना, मे मंथ का चाहे तो फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स को की बात करो या फिर आरबीआई सर्कुलर्स की बात करो, दे ऑल आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस इन द एग्जामिनेशन कैन बी एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम द मंथ ऑफ मे. ठीक है, if you guys are ready and you want me to start with the discussion, I just need an approval from you. Just give me a thumbs up so that we can start. I hope पिछले 2-3 दिन से आप मुझे झेल रहे हो, बट ठीक है, आई गेस इट्स इम्प्रूविंग एंड आई एम again expecting that my voice is not clear, but at least is I would say it is okay. हाँ, ठीक है. So I think my voice is capable enough to make you understand the concept. That is the major agenda. Here we go with the first question of the evening. The first question is related to the current discussion which was done with respect to market cap to GDP ratio. Whenever we talk about market cap to GDP ratio, it comes up with a very important concept, because जब भी कभी market capitalization बढ़ रही है in comparison to GDP and this ratio is increasing, it always remind us of the global financial crisis which we have witnessed during 2008, 2009 or 2007 to 2009. So India's market cap to GDP ratio is also called as Buffett indicator. It is also called as, I'll just write that word. It is also called as an indicator. Which indicator we are talking about? So that is Buffett indicator. So why we call it as Buffett indicator? What is the reason behind this particular statement, this particular term? Then my answer to this particular question would be, sir, basically the signals, they have elevated valuations, but the current situation is different from 2007-8. तो 2007-8 में अगर हम बात करें, the percentage was around 146.5% and currently the percentage is 137.7%, but the situation is different. How it is different? So the listed companies, they now represent a large share of activity, and quality and number of listed firms have improved. So higher GDP ratio is being partly supported by strong nominal GDP growth rate, better corporate profitability, improved banking balance sheet, lower NPAs and better external stability, because of which we can say that this time the GDP market capital to GDP ratio is high, but it is different, which we have witnessed during the 2007 to 2009 period. So global institutions like HSBC Global Investment, JP Morgan, they have downgraded Indian equities due to high valuation. We have witnessed that due to high valuation, due to earning growth risk, as well as due to the possible pressure from energy price shocks. So the important figures which you need to remember are given: 137.7%. This was in 146.5% during 2007. The current high ratio is partly supported by improved formalization and stronger corporate profitability. That is correct. HSBC and JP Morgan, they have upgraded, no sir, they have downgraded Indian equities because valuations are high. The Buffett indicator measures tool stock market value relative to budget. तो जब भी कभी we calculate the ratio of market capital with respect to GDP, that indicator, that ratio is basically known as Buffett indicator. So keeping that in mind, 1, 2, 3 and 5 statements are correct. Say yes or no. लेकिन सर ऐसा तो कोई हमारे पास ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, इसका मतलब कोई एक ऐसी स्टेटमेंट है which is not correct. Which statement is not correct? Give me the answer. Which statement is not correct? Give me the answer. ओके तो सर यहाँ पे मैं आपको बता दूं, द आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन वुड बी द बी ऑप्शन, लेकिन बी ऑप्शन में वी डोंट हैव द फिफ्थ स्टेटमेंट. आई विल जस्ट एड इट ऑन because fifth statement is also correct. So we have the answer for this particular question is B option, where 1, 2, 3 and 5 are correct. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया पॉइंट? इफ इट इज क्लियर जस्ट गिव मी yes sir so that we can move ahead. तो आपको याद रखना, what you have to remember, Buffett indicator you have to remember these percentages, the condition, the downgrading Indian equity because of valuation is high, because of which this particular point has been introduced. Got it? Done? Okay. Moving on to the next question. The next question says, consider the following statement regarding the fiscal position of Indian states. Fiscal position of Indian states. If I talk about the fiscal position of Indian states, we have witnessed that the 8 states of India, 8 states of India, which include Gujarat as well as Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, Uttarakhand, Bihar and Goa. These are the 8 states which have kept their fiscal deficit at 3% or below in the current financial year, which demonstrate that yes, the fiscal discipline is improving. So 3% fiscal deficit ceiling basically aligns with the recommendation which has been given by the Finance Commission, and the 16th Finance Commission has also recommended that maintaining this 3% value is need to be done for 2026 to 2031. At the union level, if I talk about the central government, so for the central government, for the financial year 2027, that is 2026-27, it is 4.4%. And if I talk about the fiscal deficit for the current financial year, that is 2025-26, or I would say the previous financial year, that would be better, that is 4.8%. This is something which you need to remember. ठीक है जी, अब इसको पढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं जरा. 8 Indian states have capped their fiscal deficit below 3%, correct? 16th Finance Commission has recommended maintaining the 3% fiscal deficit for the states during 2026-2031. Punjab has the highest outstanding liability among the states. That is correct. Punjab has the highest outstanding liability of 45.1% of gross state domestic product, which is followed by Punjab, is followed by Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is followed by Rajasthan. Rajasthan is followed by Andhra Pradesh in terms of percentage. ठीक है, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana are revenue deficit states. They are revenue deficit states. Then I would say this is wrong. So these are the states which are revenue surplus states. तो यहां से अगर आपको याद रखना है तो ये 3 states के नाम याद रखने. These are the revenue surplus states, which means their revenue receipts are greater than their revenue expenditure. I hope the point is clear. The union government aims to reduce its fiscal deficit from 4.8% in financial year 2025-26 to 4.4%. That is correct. So keeping that in mind, 1, 2, 3, 5, that is B option is the correct answer. Got it? Moving on to the next. अगला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. The next question talks about India's FDI trend. So FDI trend of the month of May are important. इससे पहले के ट्रेंड्स अगर आपने पढ़े हैं तो प्लीज उन्हें भूल जाओ. जो ट्रेंड्स मैं अभी आपको बता रहा हूं, that is the only information which you need to remember. इसके अलावा कुछ और याद रखने का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. So if I talk about the foreign direct investment in India has witnessed a strong inflow of foreign direct investment, and the strong inflow of foreign direct investment has witnessed around $88 billion. Then the answer is yes. So India's inflow are expected to approach $90 billion in the financial year 2025-26. This is correct. Why so? Because from April to February, इट इज $88 बिलियन, लेकिन अप्रैल टू मार्च जब हम पूरे फाइनेंशियल ईयर के लिए देखेंगे इट विल बी ऑब्वियसली ग्रेटर देन $90 बिलियन एज पर द एक्सपेक्टेशंस. According to the DPIIT, that is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, the growth has been driven by economic reforms, progress in free trade, strong GDP growth, as well as because of the proactive investment facilitation which has been done in India under the Invest India program. There is a notable trend, that is the diversification of investment sources. While Europe contributed to 42% of the grounded investment, and new investors like Brazil as well as New Zealand as well as Canada have also merged, or I would say have also emerged, broadening the India's investor base. So this you need to remember. If I talk about the grounded investment, the grounded investment in India has been tripled in comparison to the previous year. In case of sector wise, I would say chemical, pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and food processing together account for 65% of the grounded investment. This point is correct. Europe contributed 42%. That is correct. Madhya Pradesh has led state in employment generation. This is wrong. This point is wrong, because if I talk in the graphical format, in the geographical format, then the traditional investment destinations are Gujarat, Maharashtra, as well as Tamil Nadu. So if somebody asks me the states which have dominate in the foreign direct investment, then your answer would be very clear. Then what would be your answer? So your answer is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. If I talk about Bihar, Assam, Sikkim, they are emerging new investment hubs. Madhya Pradesh has emerged as the leading state in the employment generation. This is correct, but it is arising from investment, then it is correct. अगर ये arising from investment है, then it is correct. In general, Madhya Pradesh has resulted in highest employment generation in the country. That is wrong, but from the foreign investment, this is correct. So keeping that in mind, D option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the correct answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the correct answers. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया, समझ आ गया पॉइंट. तो ये सारे पॉइंट जो मैंने लिखे हैं, ये सारे के सारे वही पॉइंट्स हैं जो इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो आपको याद रखने हैं. बस अगर इतना भी याद रख लोगे तो आपको न्यूज पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज आई हैव डिजाइन्ड this session in such a manner that you just go through with. Fiscal target is 4.4%. Yes, that is correct. तो मैंने क्या बोला? मैंने भी तो 4.4 ही तो बोला. ये रहा ना. 4.8 तो पिछले साल का था ना यार. This is for the financial year 2025-26. I hope Sakshi, it is clear. So I guess आपने पढ़ा नहीं question. This is 2025-26. This is 2026-27, 4.4%. Is it clear, Sakshi? Is it clear, Sakshi? May I have a reply, please? Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the new appointment, that is Rohit Jain is appointed as the new Deputy Governor of RBI. So keeping this news in mind, so RBI has appointed new Deputy Governor on 4th of May, and this individual is appointed for 3 years, for the tenure of 3 years. And before this, he has served as the Executive Director of RBI, and now he has been promoted as the Deputy Governor of RBI. As a Deputy Governor, he will oversee the critical departments like financial market, foreign exchange management, debt management, fintech, risk monitoring, information technology, as well as RBI's strategic functions will be taken care of. He started his career with RBI only back in 1991, and he was earlier serving as Chief General Manager, now Executive Director, and now he has been appointed as the Deputy Governor. So assume the charge as Deputy Governor. That is correct. He has been appointed for a tenure of 3 years, not 5 years. Prior to his appointment, he was serving as the Executive Director. Correct. He joined RBI in 1991. Correct. He has been associated with BISL Committee on Banking Supervision and Financial Stability Board. Is it correct? That is correct. That is absolutely correct. He has represented in RBI in major international regulatory forums like Basel Committee on Banking Supervision as well as Financial Stability Board. So that point is correct. So answer to this particular question will be 1, 3, 4, 5. That means B option is the correct answer. Is the correct answer. Sakshi, if you are live, do reply beta. That is 4.4 only. You have misread it. I have said 4.4 for the upcoming financial year, 4.8% for the current financial, that is completed financial year. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement with respect to women and men in India 2025 report. Women and men in India 2025 report has been presented recently, and according to this particular report, this was the 27th edition of this particular report, and this particular report talks about that today in India women held only 19.8% of the total demat accounts which are maintained by the Central Depository Services Limited, while 80.2% accounts are maintained by men in the country. That is correct. Between 2021 to 2025, we have recorded a 4% growth in the women demat accounts. This point is also correct. So second option is also correct. Moving on to the next. Women hold more than 80% of account under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Is it correct? Sir, under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, women hold 82.81% of accounts and receive 83.57% of the sanction loan amount. So this is correct. तो कितने accounts है? So that is 82%. And अगर मैं value की terms में बात करूं, the value talks about 83%. तो close है, तो याद रख लेना. Women accounts for around 55.7% as per the Jan Dhan accounts. This is correct as of December 2025 data. In women accounts or the Jan Dhan accounts on the name of the women, it's around 55.7%. That is absolutely correct. Nearly 73% of rural female workers are engaged in agriculture. Nearly 73% of the rural female workers, they are employed in agriculture. That is correct. तो इस पूरी रिपोर्ट में ये 5 पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट थे. पांचों के पांचों पॉइंट मैंने यहां पे आपको दे दिए. दैट इज करेक्ट. सो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी व्हाट? ई ऑप्शन 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. अच्छा, मैं आपको बता दूं, दैट इज बजट एस्टिमेट जो मैंने बताया था 4.4% या 4.3% अगर आप बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो आप जिस चीज की आप बात कर रहे हैं दैट इज रिवाइज्ड एस्टिमेट्स. दैट आर रिवाइज्ड एस्टिमेट्स. तो जब भी कभी डेटा आएगा, डेटा विल बी, if not written, it will be budget estimate. If it is clearly specified, then it will be revised estimates. So please make sure, Prachi, you don't make this mistake. Is it clear? Is it clear? और ये जो डेटा यहाँ पे शेयर किया गया, this data has been given by DPIIT. This data is not given by गवर्नमेंट अंडर द बजट के अकॉर्डिंग अगर हम बात करें 4.3% फॉर द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 27, 4.4% फॉर द करंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर. दिस इज करेक्ट. इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट दीज आर द रिवाइज्ड एस्टिमेट्स. रिमेंबर दैट. अब ठीक है जी, सारे डाउट्स क्लियर हो गए. चलो, बहुत बढ़िया. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? अगला क्वेश्चन कहता है कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इंडिया कैनेडा Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So India has recently signed. बता तो दिया मैंने प्राची. 4.4% वाला जो पॉइंट है, दिस इज रिवाइज्ड estimates. Budget estimates 4.3%, but this data which I am referring over here, this data is given not through the budget statement. It is given under this particular announcement which has been done regarding the fiscal position of the Indian states. यस, गॉट इट. तो आपको अगर नहीं ये याद रखना, मत याद रखो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अगर आप कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो, ये वाला पार्ट आपको याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है. ये वाला पार्ट आपको याद रखना जरूरी है. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की ओर. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या है? इंडिया एंड कैनेडा दे आर करंटली होल्डिंग द सेकंड राउंड ऑफ CEPA नेगोशिएशन इन न्यू दिल्ली. द आंसर इज करेक्ट सर. इन द मंथ ऑफ May, CEPA pre-trade agreement, bilateral trade and investment relations related proposal was being negotiated in the month of May in New Delhi in order to liberalize the trade in goods and services to improve the market access. India Canada bilateral trade is going to be of value $50 billion by 2030. This is also correct. The next point says CPA negotiation was first started in 2010. This is correct. 2010 में start हुआ, discussion revive हुई 2022. Then talks were paused due to political differences in 2023. Then first round of negotiation has happened in 2026 March, and now May is the second round which has happened of negotiation in 2026 again. ठीक है जी. अगर हम बात करें major Indian exports to Canada, sir, Indian imports pharmaceutical electronics from Canada while exporting pulses and coal. So please remember, major Indian exports to Canada. Major Indian exports to Canada क्या है? Major Indian exports to Canada are, please pay attention, that is pharmaceuticals. Then we have iron and steel. Along with iron and steel, we have seafoods. Along with seafoods, we have garments and textiles. These are the exports from India. If I talk about Canadian goods, which India is importing, Canadian goods which India is importing. So India is importing what? Sir, India is importing pulses from Canada. India is importing coal from Canada, fertilizers from Canada. India is also importing crude oil in near future and paper as well as precious stone. पेपर एज वेल एज प्रीशियस स्टोन जो मुझे याद आ रहा है, तो उसके हिसाब से अगर हम देखें तो फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट गलत है. दिस शुड बी एक्सपोर्ट एंड दिस शुड बी इंपोर्ट. इंडिया इंपोर्ट्स नहीं, इंडिया एक्सपोर्ट्स while from Canada while import pulses and coal. ठीक है, ये सही है. Negotiation were paused in 2013 and being resumed in 2026. This is correct. So keeping that in mind, B option is correct. But ये जो फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट गलत है, ये काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है और इसका पूरे का पूरा लेखा जोखा मैंने आपको दे दिया. जस्ट गो थ्रू विद इट, इट इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है. चलो, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट regarding the recent development in the commodity derivatives market. So as per the latest development which has been done by SEBI with respect to the commodity derivative market, SEBI is working with the government to address the key challenges in the India's commodity derivative market, particularly related to GST, because GST compliance issues and emerging technological risk are very important to be highlighted. So the major concern is taxation of commodities involving physical delivery. I hope you are getting my point. So currently, intermediaries must obtain separate SGST registration in every state where the delivery centers are located, and this results in multiple GST registrations, higher compliance burden, increased operational cost and whatnot. तो इस प्रॉब्लम को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए सेबी ने कहा कि भैया इस SGST को अब रिप्लेस कर दो किससे? IGST से. तो अगर कोई भी कमोडिटी डेरिवेटिव ट्रेड है और वो कमोडिटी सेटल डाउन हो रही है, तो उस कमोडिटी सेटल डाउन के केस में वी विल बी चार्जिंग, और द टैक्स व्हिच इज गोइंग टू बी चार्ज, दैट विल बी IGST. Another important issue relates to the market application. So Reserve Bank of India and IRDAI, they have opposed allowing banks and insurance companies into the commodity market due to the concerns. And what are the concerns? Sir, banks are not allowed to be the part of commodity market because of higher risk, mismatch with long-term nature of insurance liability, as well as financial stability considerations. Not only this, there was one more news related to SEBI. SEBI has also highlighted emerging risk from advanced artificial intelligence system such as Mythos. I thought you might have heard about it. So Mythos warning that algo systems, they can operate faster than human supervision, and it will increase the fraud risk, market manipulation risk, systemic vulnerability, as well as cyber security threats can also be witnessed. In addition to this, Central Registry of Securitization Asset Reconstruction, as well as Security Interest of India, through CKYC 2.0 is basically aiming to establish one KYC framework which will allow unified KYC system across financial institutions while improving the efficiency and authentication. तो भैया बैंक में अलग KYC, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज में अलग, क्यों ना एक ही केवाईसी कर ले, यूनिफॉर्म हो, जब एक जगह पे केवाईसी हो गया उसे शेयर कर दो एंड एट सी केवाईसी 2.0 एंड दैट कुड बी यूज्ड बाय द अदर इंस्टीट्यूट्स एज वेल. So Central Registry of Securitization, Asset Reconstruction and Security in Trust of India will be modernized to achieve this. So the first is SEBI has proposed replacing current GST with an IGST, correct? Under the present system, intermediaries must obtain GST registration in multiple states, that is correct. RBI and IRDI support the entry of banks and insurance companies in the commodity market. No, they oppose it. SEBI has highlighted the risk arising from advanced AI system like Mythos, that is correct. CKYC 2.0 aims to create one KYC framework across all the financial sectors, that is correct. So keeping that in mind, only the third statement is wrong. Rest all the statements are correct. So answer is going to be 1, 2, 4, 5 are the correct answers. Next, SEBI has proposed reforms for online bond platform providers. What is this news all about? एक बार ध्यान से सुनो इसको. SEBI has recently issued a consultation paper in order to seek public comments on reforms to improve the ease of doing business for online bond platform providers. So basically these reforms aims to expand the range of products which are offered by online bond platform providers, simplify compliance requirements as well as align regulations with evolving market. Now, if you don't know what is this OBPP, so these are the digital platforms that facilitate the buying and selling of bonds and they are regulated under SEBI only. So to operate an OBPP, an entity must be registered with SEBI as a stock broker in the debt segment, then only you will be allowed to run it. Now, the first proposal is allow OBPP to offer IFSCA regulated products. That means current position is these OBPP, they can offer the products which are regulated by SEBI, regulated by RBI, regulated by PFRDA, regulated by IRDAI, but they are not allowed to offer the products which are regulated by IFSCA. So this is the first proposal. So IFSCA has requested SEBI to permit OBPP to offer overseas listed debt securities. तो SEBI ने proposal रखा public के सामने for the stakeholders comments, then final decision will be taken up. Next is SEBI has come up with a proposal that OBPP may be allowed to offer IFSCA regulated products under the FEMA Act 1999, under the overseas investment limits as well as under the liberalized remittance scheme limits. So all these limits will be taken into consideration. Second जो proposal है, that is basically allow OBPP to offer Section 54 EC bonds. What are these Section 54 EC bonds? So these are tax saving bonds under Section 54 EC of Income Tax Act 1961 and Section 85 of Income Tax Act 2025. So investors, they can claim capital gain tax benefits by investing in these bonds. So current issuers are Power Finance Corporation Limited, Indian Railway Finance Corporation Limited, REC Limited. These are the issuer of these bonds. So the current issue, although all the non-convertible debt securities they issued after 1st January 2024 must generally be listed, but 54 EC bonds, they enjoy a special exemption and need not to be listed. So this creates an ambiguity whether OBPP can offer them or not. तो SEBI ने कहा भैया मैं प्रपोज करता हूं कि we should offer them or we should allow them to offer Section 54 EC bonds as well. Third proposal क्या दिया गया? Appointment of compliance officer. OBPP must appoint company secretary. कंपनी सेक्रेटरी एक डिग्री होती है, जैसे सीए वैसे कंपनी सेक्रेटरी एक डिग्री है, एज compliance officer under the master circular which has been issued. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India argued that Stockbrokers, investment advisors, research analysts are not required to appoint any company secretaries as compliance officers, but SEBI has proposed that this should be done. This should be done at least by OBPP, not by stockbrokers, research analysts, or investment advisors. So, compliance officers' appointment will follow stockbroker norms. Mandatory requirement for appointing only company secretary, जो कि एक पहले रिक्वायरमेंट थी, तो जब सेबी ने एक प्रपोजल दिया कि मैं चाहता हूं कि ये होल्ड किया जाए, तो उन्होंने उसे काउंटर किया, और काउंटर करने के बाद ये जो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट थी अब उसे रिमूव कर दिया. नाउ देयर इज नो नीड टू बी company secretary, that is, there is no need to be CS if you want to be appointed as a compliance officer in OBPP. ठीक है जी, क्लियर होगी बात. बस इतनी कहानी है, इससे ज्यादा कुछ है नहीं. इसमें एक और टर्म आती है, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू हैव read this term or not. ये जो लिखा CBOSAC, it stands for what, sir? It stands for Corporate Bonds and Securitization Advisory Committee, which advises SEBI on development and regulation of corporate bonds and securitization markets. So if I talk about the major reforms are single asset securitization, which allows securitization backed by a single asset. OBPP reforms expand products and simplify the compliance. If I talk about the ease, operational ease has been announced, which is one-time transfer of unclaimed amount after 7 years will be done. I hope you remember that the unclaimed amount in terms of dividend, in terms of share, in terms of debentures will be transferred after 7 years, as we have discussed in the earlier month news as well. So keeping that in mind, SEBI has proposed to offer products, IFSC correct, bonds issued under Section 54E of Income Tax Act are mandatorily required to be listed on stock exchange, Is it correct? अभी मैंने आपको बताया. Is this point correct? The answer to this point is no, sir, it is incorrect. They are exempted from mandatory. Listing. That is a point. SEBI has proposed permitting OBPP to offer Section 54 EC bonds on their platforms. That is correct. ICAI requested SEBI to allow greater flexibility in appointment of the compliance officer. That is correct. Now compliance officer need not to be a CS. COBOSAC is an advisory committee related to corporate bond and securitization market. Is it an advisory committee? Yes, sir. It is absolutely an advisory committee which advises SEBI regarding the corporate bond. So the answer to this particular question is going to be B statement. Next question. The next question is related to UN migration. UN World Migration Report. Obviously ये report आपको सर ने कराई भी होगी. मैं इसके important points एक बार रिवाइज करा देता हूँ. तो अगर मुझसे कोई पूछे कि सर इसमें क्या क्या पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट है, as per the United Nations World Migration Report, India remained the world's largest inward recipient in 2024. India has received more than $137 billion from Indians living and working abroad. A key finding of the report is that India, Mexico, Philippines, they together received more than 245 billion dollars, where we have India, Mexico and Philippines. ठीक है जी. अगला पॉइंट जो यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है वो ये हो सकता है कि India leads global remittance inflow. India is on the first rank. South Asia recorded fastest growth in the inward remittance, which is obviously primarily driven by India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. South Asia, आप समझते हैं ना, SAARC nations. I hope you understand. South Asia, which stands for SAARC nations, which include MBBS Spain, which stands for Nepal, India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and give me the answer. Okay. If I talk about the country which is the major source, so the major source country is US. So US is the country on the first rank in terms of the outward flow of remittance, that is more than $100 billion. India ranked second globally after China. India has been ranked second globally after China, not in terms of remittance, not in terms of remittance, rather in the number of students studying abroad, rather in the number of students studying abroad. तो सबसे ज्यादा students जो abroad पढ़ रहे हैं, that is they are Chinese. So India was the world's largest recipient of remittance in 2024, receiving more than $137 billion. Correct. Mexico was second largest remittance recipient received or receiving country. That is correct. South Asia recorded the fastest remittance growth in 2024, around 11.8%. So if I talk about the growth, it is not. It is 11.8%, primarily driven by India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Then United States was the largest source of remittance globally. That is correct. India ranked second in the number of students studying abroad. So answer to this particular question is 1, 2, 3, 4. B option is the correct answer. Is it clear? Okay, moving on to the next one. Consider the following statement regarding early pay-in facility in commodity derivatives market. Early pay-in facility in the commodity derivative market. Any idea? So early pay-in allows settlement obligation to be fulfilled before the due date. What is this early pay-in facility? What is the answer all related to this? So SEBI has issued a consultation paper again proposing early pay-in benefit to commodity option contracts. So currently this facility is available only to commodity future contracts. It is not available to commodity option contracts. So what is this early pay-in? So early pay-in allow the traders to fulfill allow the traders to fulfill settlement obligations before scheduled settlement date. You can fulfill the settlement obligations before scheduled settlement date. In commodity derivative, a seller can deposit certified commodities in exchange accredited warehouse before the settlement date because the delivery obligation is fulfilled in advance. So stock exchange may provide relief from certain margin requirements, thereby reducing the capital blocked for trading. समझ आई बात? तो इन कमोडिटी डेरिवेटिव सेलर जो है वो ऑलरेडी अपनी डिपॉजिट करता है. Seller can deposit certified commodities in exchange accredited warehouses before the date. और अब आप भी पहले पैसा देकर अपनी उस commodity derivative trade को settle down कर सकते हैं. That is early pay-in option. Even when early pay-in option is availed, mark to market margins they must be collected. तो जो mark to market margins है, they are still to be collected. मार्क टू मार्केट मार्जिन का मतलब है कि आज अगर कमोडिटी 10 लाख की है, कल को कम हो गई तो जितनी वैल्यू कम हो रही है उतना मार्जिन तो आपको देना ही पड़ेगा, लेकिन उसके ऊपर का जो मार्जिन है दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. दिस इज द बेनिफिट. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया पॉइंट. इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें क्या क्या पॉइंट्स करेक्ट होंगे. Early pay-in allows settlement obligation to be fulfilled before due date. Currently, EPI benefit is available for commodity futures but not for option contracts. Correct. Under EPI framework, exchange may exempt participants from certain margin requirements, but mark-to-market margins are still collected. That is correct. Commodity Derivative Advisory Committee broadly agreed with extending EPI benefits to commodity options. Is it correct? The answer is yes. The proposal was examined by the working group and the commodity derivative advisory committee broadly agreed with the recommendations. It has broadly agreed with the recommendations. This is correct. Commodity options create a mandatory obligation on both buyer and seller to complete the transaction on settlement. नहीं सर, ऑप्शन का फायदा ही है, it do not create any obligation, rather it gives you the right. It do not create any obligation, rather it gives you the right. So keeping that right in your mind, which statement is going to be correct? Any idea? A commodity option gives The right to whom? So this right is basically given to buyer, not obligation, rather it will be right to buyer. अगर ऐसा होता तो सही होता, वरना ये गलत है, तो उसके बेसिस पे आंसर क्या बनेगा? बी ऑप्शन. Is it correct? I hope it is clear to everybody. अब आप ध्यान से देखो, अगर अगर आपको ये बस फिफ्थ पॉइंट आता होता, क्योंकि ये कॉन्सेप्चुअल है, ये पूरा करंट अफेयर्स है, दिस इज कॉन्सेप्ट, तो आपके तीन ऑप्शन डायरेक्टली क्या हो जाते? You might have, you must be in a position to exclude three options. This is how the conceptual learnings of finance help you while answering the finance current affairs. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the Viability Plan 2.0 for regional rural banks. Viability Plan 2.0 for regional rural banks, it was in news. So the plan covers financial year 2025-26 to financial year 2027-28. This is correct. The framework contains 30 performance parameters grouped under grouped under four pillars. That is also correct. There is no harm in that. The four pillars, the four pillars are, if I talk about the four pillars, sir, it includes asset quality, profitability, growth, operational excellence. That is correct. The next point is CRAR, credit deposit ratio, digital adoption, and NPA levels are among the key performance metrics in order to understand how well or how bad the RRBs are performing. This is also correct. The plan seeks to align all 28 RRBs with national objective such as rural credit expansion and digital inclusion. This is also absolutely correct. So answer would be E option. All the five statements which are written with respect to RRB 2.0 is correct. RRB का जो पुराना प्लान था, that was from 2021-22 to 2024-25. So that plan has been concluded. Now the new plan has been introduced, and the new plan is 2025-26 to 2027-28. 30 performance factors, 4 pillars, remember that. Important performance metrics, CRAR, asset quality indicators are NPA levels. Asset quality indicators are NPA levels. Then we have, along with CRAR, we have digital adoption, development indicators like rural credit expansion. That is absolutely correct. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. बट जो पॉइंट इसमें लिखे हैं related to RRB news, this is more than sufficient. इससे बाहर क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. Just remember them, your problem will be solved. Next, consider the following statement regarding sweep in fixed deposit, auto sweep fixed deposits. I hope you remember auto sweep fixed deposits क्या है. They were earlier termed as flexi deposits as well. मान लो मैंने एक सेविंग्स अकाउंट ओपन किया और उसमें मेरे पास 1 लाख रुपए पड़े हैं, एंड ऑन एन एवरेज आई मेंटेन अ रेगुलर डिपॉजिट ऑफ 1 लाख. तो मैंने बैंक को कहा कि सर आप ऐसा करो, 20,000 रुपए को मेरे सेविंग अकाउंट के फॉर्मेट में रखो, रेस्ट 80,000 will be considered as fixed deposit in the saving account only, and that will be 4 fixed deposits in a multiple of minimum amount which I am maintaining as saving account. 20,000 तक अगर मैं डिपॉजिट या विड्रॉ करूंगा, इट विल एक्ट एज अ सेविंग अकाउंट. अगर मैंने 20,000 से ज्यादा विड्रॉ किया, कर सकते हो, और उस विड्रॉल पे दिस एफडी विच हैज बीन डन, दैट विल बी प्री मेच्योर डिस्काउंटेड. और अगर आपकी एफडी, मान लो 4 एफडी जो हुई है, वो मान लो 6 महीने तक रही, देन यू विल बी एंजॉइंग द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इक्वल टू द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफर्ड बाय द बैंक फॉर 6 months एफडी. So sweep in FD automatically transfers surplus funds from the saving account into a fixed deposit once a specified threshold is crossed. In my example, the threshold is 20,000. You can take it 5,000 depending upon the bank conditions. Under the sweep in facility, funds can automatically transfer back from FD to the saving account whenever required. Yes sir, जब भी आप मान लो आपने 50,000 का चेक लगा दिया, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो अमाउंट ट्रांसफर हो जाएगी. There is nothing to worry about. Saving account generally offer interest rate of around 2 to 4%, which may not keep the pace with the inflation. This is correct under the FIFO method. What is this FIFO method which has been mentioned over here? What is this FIFO method which has been mentioned over here? Any idea? पढ़ाया यार मैंने ये टॉपिक. It is first in, first out. So when funds are needed, the FD must be broken. Bank will follow. First in, first out. Oldest FD is broken first. LIFO is last in, first out. So most recently created FD is broken first. I hope it is correct. So जो FD पहले आई थी, मान लो आज आपने पैसा जो डिपॉजिट किया, जो 20,000 रुपए सबसे पहले आए थे, सबसे पहले उन्हीं को विड्रॉ किया जाएगा, और जो कल ही एंटर हुए दे विल स्टिल रिमेन अंडर दी FD वाली कैटेगरी सो दैट दे कैन अट्रैक्ट मोर इंटरेस्ट. So under FIFO, the most recently created FD is broken. Most recently created नहीं सर, oldest FD is broken, जो सबसे पहले क्रिएट हुई थी, क्योंकि फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट, तो जो पहले इन हुआ था उसी को पहले आउट करना है. इट इज लाइक दिस. From here you are entering and from here you are exiting. तो जो सबसे पहले एंटर हुआ था that will be the first one to exit. Interest earned on sweep in deposit is taxable according to the applicable tax slab. Yes sir, income tax slab के according tax लगेगा. अगर आप senior citizen है तो आपको कितना tax benefit मिलता है in case of fixed deposit? Is it 50,000? Say yes or no in the comment section. Next. The next topic or the next news is again important. This news is basically related to Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme 5.0, which is a government-backed credit guarantee scheme aimed at providing additional free credit to MSMEs, selected non-MSMEs, and aviation sector facing liquidity stress due to the economic disruptions. So the scheme is implemented by the National Credit Guarantee Trust Company Limited, and it provides 100% guarantee coverage for MSMEs and 90% guarantee coverage for the non-MSMEs and airlines. Remember that, non-MSMEs and airlines. State Bank of India Research has presented this report that ECLGS 5.0 is expected to benefit around 1.1 crore MSMEs, covering around 45% of the total MSME loan portfolio. This scheme was introduced back in 2020, और अभी जो रिपोर्ट आई उस वजह से न्यूज में था. तो लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व द क्वेश्चन. ECLGS is implemented by National Credit Guarantee Trust Company Limited. National Guarantee Trust Company Limited. Is this point correct? Is this point correct? So this is absolutely correct. MSMEs are eligible for 100% guarantee coverage under the scheme. Are eligible for 100% guarantee coverage under the scheme. That is correct. Non-MSMEs and airlines 90%. MSME can obtain additional credit up to 20% of peak working capital utilized during Q4, subject to maximum 100 crores. Is this point correct? Is this point correct? क्या कोई ऐसा रेफरेंस है? क्या कोई ऐसा रेफरेंस है? Say yes or no. The answer is yes. Sir, up to 20% of the peak working capital utilized during Q4 and the maximum limit is 100 crore. Airlines के केस में it is up to 100% of the peak working capital utilized. Airlines के केस में it is up to 100%. Airlines के केस में it is up to 100% guarantee, 100% the last quarter working capital, but the upper limit is up to 1500 crores. The scheme aims to facilitate total additional credit flow of 2.55 lakh crore. Is this correct? Is this correct? So the additional credit support will be provided of around 2.55 lakh crore rupees. That is correct, including 5,000 crore, which is specifically marked for airlines. तो ये पॉइंट बिल्कुल सही है. तो यहाँ पे ये चीज आपको याद रखनी है. 5,000 crore is specifically marked for airlines. So keeping that in mind, E option is absolutely correct. That means all the statements are correct. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. Thank you, Pala Shukla. Thank you so much. Chalo, moving on to the next. Consider the following statement with respect to the half-yearly report on management of foreign exchange reserves. Half-yearly report on management of foreign exchange reserves. तो उस रिपोर्ट के ऊपर ये पर्टिकुलर न्यूज है. सो लेट्स ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट ऑल पॉइंट्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट. So this half yearly report represents October 2025 to March 2026. The report has highlighted that India's forex exchange reserves, they have declined from $700 billion to $691 billion in the month of March 2026, and a fall is witnessed of $9 billion. Fall is witnessed of $9 billion. If I check the movement, so the movement is worth recording. So India's foreign exchange reserves declined from $700 billion to $691 billion, correct? Gold constituted about 16.7%. Gold constituted about 16.7% of total reserves at the end of March 2026. Is it correct, guys? Is it correct? Can you give me the answer? ये तो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था. ये तो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था ना सर. अर्लियर जो गोल्ड का शेयर था that was 13.92%, but now the share has increased to 16.7%. That is correct. In absolute number terms, it is 880 tons. It's 880 tons. Next we have India net international investment position improved from negative $363.9 billion to negative $260.5 billion. Is it correct? अगर हम इंडिया की इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें तो इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंडिया की जो नेट इन्वेस्टमेंट पोजीशन है इट हैज इंप्रूव्ड फ्रॉम 363 टू 260.5 बिलियन डॉलर्स. दिस इज करेक्ट. ये याद रखने वाली चीज है. RBI Reserve Management Framework prioritizes safety and liquidity over returns. RBI Reserve Management prioritizes safety and liquidity over returns. This is correct. उनका main concern safety as well as liquidity है rather than कि आपको क्या return मिल रहा है, what you are earning. Securities accounted for largest share of foreign currency assets at the end of March 2026. Securities accounted for the largest share. ये बिल्कुल सही है सर. जो आपकी foreign currency assets है, it includes the securities such as bonds, bills, in which basically RBI is investing its funds. So keeping that in mind, this statement is also correct. So answer to this particular question is E option. अगर आप ध्यान से देखो तो मैंने ज्यादातर स्टेटमेंट सारी करेक्ट बनाई है सो दैट यू कैन रिमेंबर देम. एंड अगर आपने इतना इतना भी याद रख लिया जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, ट्रस्ट मी व्हेन यू सिट इन द एग्जामिनेशन तो आपको ये सेशन जरूर याद आएगा. आई कैन गिव यू माई गारंटी ऑन द सेम. चलो अब अगला जो हमारे पास क्वेश्चन है दैट इज रिलेटेड टू पेमेंट सिस्टम रिपोर्ट. वी ऑल हैव स्टडीड इट इन 2 सेशंस. उसके ऊपर मैं एक ही क्वेश्चन लेके आया हूं, लेकिन कुछ कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जो मैं ऐड जरूर करूंगा. सबसे पहला PRB Payment Regulatory Board has replaced BPSS on 9th of May 2025. It has replaced BPSS. This is something which is worth remembering. First meeting was held in January 2026. Transaction volume has increased 33 times. If I go from 2016 to 2025, transaction volume has increased 33 times, and transaction value has increased 3 times. Value has increased 3 times. This is the data which you need to remember. If I talk about the total volume में अगर आप याद रखना चाहें तो बस इतना याद रख लीजिए. The total volume of transaction was 14,270 crores in the second half of financial year 2025-26. उसके अलावा अगर मैं शेयर की बात करूं so UPI possess 85% share. I'm talking about volume. वॉल्यूम के बेसिस पे UPI का शेयर है 85%. RTGS का शेयर है 0.1%. ऐसे तो कोई लिमिट नहीं है, बस मैं उतने को ही उसके बाद अगर हम बात करें NEFT एंड prepaid payment instrument is 3.6%. If I talk about value, sir, in case of value, RTGS is on the first rank. Majority value, that is 68.6%. and in case of UPI, sir, it's only 9.5%. It's only 9.5%. Is this point clear, everybody? Is it clear, everybody? Obviously, Grav, because I'm not here to judge your knowledge in this session. I'm here to give you more and more information which can help you in answering the questions in the examination. ठीक है जी? चलो क्वेश्चन पढ़ते हैं. UPI accounted more than 85% of the total. That is correct. RTGS accounted highest share of payment transaction value. Correct. Payment Regulatory Board replaced BPSS in 2025. Correct. RBI recognized self-regulated PSO association as SRO for payment system operators. Correct. India's UPI QR code were operational in Canada, Australia as of December 2025. Is it correct? Is it correct? Any idea? अगर मैं QR कोड्स की बात करूं, अगर मैं इंडिया के UPI QR codes की बात करूं, so in that particular case you need to remember the QR codes, they have witnessed a growth in terms of the infrastructure. We have witnessed an increase from 67 crores to 73 crores QR codes which are available for making the payments in India. But on the other side, if I talk about Australia, if I talk about Australia and Canada, is this point correct? Is this point correct? The answer is no, sir. It is not Canada. It is not Australia. Rather, if you want to find the answer, QR code payments were operational in Bhutan. They were operational in France, Mauritius, as well as Nepal, Qatar, and Singapore, UAE, as well as Sri Lanka. UAE as well as Sri Lanka. So answer to this particular question is B option, because it's not operational in Canada or Australia. ठीक है जी. Cambodia is the ninth country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Cambodia is the ninth. That is absolutely correct. तो मैंने 9 की 9 स्टेट कंट्रीज का नाम लिख दिया. अब इससे ज्यादा क्या ही लिखूं. ठीक है. अगला क्वेश्चन. The next question is related to 623rd meeting of the Central Board of RBI. So as per the 623rd meeting of Central Board of RBI, RBI balance sheet has expanded by 20.6%, reached a value of 91 lakh crore rupees. That is correct. Under the economic capital framework, contingent risk buffer is need to be in a range of 4.5 to 7.5, and this time RBI has maintained it at 6.5%. RBI transferred 1,09,000 crores to the contingent risk buffer. That is correct. CRB was maintained at 6.5, not at 8.5. RBI approved surplus transfer to the government of value 2,86,000 crores. This is correct. So answer to this particular question is B option. That is easy. That was doable. क्योंकि अभी हमने annual report पढ़ी and I'm pretty sure you must be in a position to answer it for sure. ठीक है जी, clear हो गया. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement with respect to RBI's quantum secure and adaptive financial ecosystem expert committee, that is QSAFE committee. So as per the QSAFE committee, the committee has been constituted to study both opportunities and risk arising from quantum technology. Correct. Committee will assess cryptography bill of materials used in financial institutions. That is correct. Crypto agility refers to the ability of a financial institution to rapidly migrate from one cryptographic system to the another cryptographic system. That is correct. The committee was headed by Dr. Anil Prabhakar. That is correct. Committee has been asked to submit its report within 6 months. Within 6 months. So the answer to this particular question is B option. Rest all the statements are correct. Only one statement is wrong. 6 months. That is correct. इससे ज्यादा इस कमेटी के बारे में पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. इतने में आपका काम चल जाएगा. Next. Now we have a question on RBI's annual BSR1 on credit, and we have one more question on annual BSR2 on deposits. तो देखते हैं क्या क्या चीजें आपको याद है, जो मैंने बताया था वो याद होनी जरूरी है. बैंक क्रेडिट ग्रोथ has increased to 14.1%, which was earlier 11.1%. Exactly correct है. Metropolitan branches accounted for more than half of the total outstanding bank credit. That is correct. अगर मैं कहूँ exactly तो metropolitan cities they record for 58.2% of the outstanding credit. Next, household sector accounted for less than 50% of the total bank credit. No, sir, they have also accounted for more than 50%. That is, in this case, the value is 58.6%. तो टोटल लोन का आउटस्टैंडिंग लोन हाउसहोल्ड के नाम पे दैट इज 58.6%. एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर शेयर इन टोटल बैंक क्रेडिट is at 12.9%. This is correct. The share of loan carrying interest below 9% has increased or improved to 64.2%. ये data भी correct है. So answer to this particular question is going to be what? Sir, answer to this particular question is B option. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात. इसमें कोई और डेटा आपको याद रखना है तो आप याद रखना चाहो तो एक चीज याद रख सकते हो, वो है टोटल शेयर इन टोटल बैंक क्रेडिट. तो शेयर इन टोटल बैंक क्रेडिट में सबसे कम रूरल, देन सेमी अर्बन, देन अर्बन एंड देन मेट्रोपॉलिटन, विच इज क्वाइट ऑब्वियस एज आई हैव डिस्कस दैट डे ऑल्सो. ये क्वाइट ऑब्वियस है. और उसके अलावा आप याद रख सकते हैं कि सर सबसे ज्यादा क्रेडिट कौन से बैंक के द्वारा दिया गया. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द क्रेडिट गिवन बाय बैंक, हाईएस्ट इज पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक, देन वी हैव प्राइवेट बैंक्स, ये है 54%, ये है अराउंड 40%. उसके बाद वी हैव फॉरेन बैंक्स, देन वी हैव स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक्स. और स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक का जो परसेंटेज है वो 1% से इंप्रूव होकर अब कितना हो गया, दैट इज 1.5%. दैट इज 1.5%. गॉट इट? क्लियर? एक चीज और कोई पूछ ले, अगर इंडिविजुअल बोरोवर्स कितने हैं सर, इंडिविजुअल बोरोवर्स इन एज अ शेयर ऑफ टोटल क्रेडिट, जो टोटल लोन इंडिविजुअल बोरोवर्स के नाम पे है, दैट इज 47.8%. आई गेस दिस इज ऑल्सो क्लियर. प्राइवेट कॉर्पोरेट का जो लोन है दैट इज ग्रेटर देन 25%. और अगर मैं एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर के लोन की बात करूं सर, दैट इज 12.9% एज रिटन ऑन द स्क्रीन. इसके अलावा अगर मैं देखूं तो इंडस्ट्री का शेयर कोई पूछे तो सर इंडस्ट्री का शेयर है 22%. और इसके अलावा अगर कोई पूछेगा तो टर्म लोन शेयर इन द टोटल क्रेडिट, टर्म लोन का मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स, उसका शेयर है 62.8%. उसका शेयर है 62.8%. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया पॉइंट? इफ इट इज क्लियर जस्ट गिव मी यस सर. So the answer to this particular question is B option. Answer to this particular question is B option. Just tell me yes or no in the comment section, please. Done. Let's move on to the next question. Sir, if I talk about deposit, the deposit growth increased to 11.5%. That is correct, but it is still less than credit growth. Share of saving deposit increased between March 2020 to March 2026. The share of saving deposit has increased. The answer is no, sir, it has decreased. So this is wrong. It has decreased. It has not increased. और ये decrease भी कितना हुआ है तो मैं वो भी बताता हूँ. If I'm not wrong with my memory, it is 34.6% से कम होकर कितना हो गया, 28.7%. ठीक है, अगला हाउसहोल्ड अकाउंटेड फॉर 59.3. Household accounted for 59.3 rupees in the total deposit. This is correct. सबसे ज्यादा डिपॉजिट कौन रिसीव करता है सर? पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक. Public sector bank is receiving a deposit of 50.8%. Then we have private banks and then we have the other banks. Term deposit of 1 crore and above constitute 46.3% share. अगर मैं बात करूं 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा वैल्यू का डिपॉजिट 46.3%, 5 करोड़ से ज्यादा का वैल्यू अगर है और अगर आप उस अकाउंट की बात करें दैट इज 34.8%. Senior citizens accounted for 1/4 of the total bank deposit. Senior citizens accounted for almost 20%. 20% होगा तो 1/4 नहीं होगा सर, 1/5 होगा. 1/4 नहीं होगा सर, 1/5 होगा. लेकिन अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि क्वेश्चन जब बनाया गया था तो उसमें ना इस फिगर को 1/4 भी रिप्रेजेंट किया गया था. So keeping that representation in the same manner, I would say this statement is not correct because it says 25% as per the data, but होना कितना चाहिए सर? 20% होना चाहिए. So this is wrong. This is 1/5. So keeping that in mind, answer will be 1, 3 and 4. B option is the correct answer. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. अगला क्वेश्चन देखें. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. 1 second. Check out the next question. The next question is related to housing price index. So in case of housing price index is recorded at 115.9. That is correct. उसके बाद अगर हम बात करें सर, housing price index has witnessed a growth of 0.2% on quarter basis. This is correct. Year on year housing price index growth stood at 4.2% year on year. That is correct. That is correct. उसके अलावा अगर मैं बात करूं इंडेक्स इज बेस्ड ऑन 2020, नहीं सर ये गलत है. इंडेक्स का जो बेस ईयर है दैट इज 2022-23. So remember that the base year of housing price index is 2022-23. Housing price index cover 18 major cities. This is correct. 1, 2, 3 and 5. That means B statement is the correct answer. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. The next question is related to India's FDI performance for the entire financial year. So if I talk about the, इसमें सिर्फ जो डेटा मैं दे रहा हूं उतना ही याद करना है, इसके अलावा कुछ और मत याद करना. Net FDI increased to $7.65 billion. This is correct. Gross inward FDI was more than $90 billion. That is correct. Exactly, it was $94 billion. Reinvested earnings stood at $25.56 billion. Reinvested earnings मतलब जो पैसा आपने अर्न किया इंडिया में वही आपने इंडिया में रीइन्वेस्ट कर दिया. दैट इज रीइन्वेस्टेड अर्निंग. नेट पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट recorded an inflow of $16.67 billion. No sir, this is wrong क्योंकि नेट पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट रिकॉर्डेड आउटफ्लो. वैल्यू कितनी है वो तो छोड़ दो, बट इट इज आउटफ्लो, इट इज नॉट इनफ्लो. सो दिस इज रॉन्ग. Direct overseas investment by Indian firms increased in comparison to 2025, 2024-25. That is correct. और ये जो increase हुआ that has increased to $33 billion. पिछले साल कितना था सर? पिछले साल it was around $28 billion. So now it has increased to $33 billion. बट हमसे फिगर नहीं पूछी, अच्छी बात है. सिर्फ ट्रेंड पूछ लिया और ट्रेंड जो है वो हमारे सामने. दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. तो इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर क्या होगा? तो द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन वुड बी व्हाट? सो द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन वुड बी द बी स्टेटमेंट. ठीक है जी. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. Consider the following statement with respect to the outward remittance under the liberalized remittance scheme. If I talk about the liberalized remittance scheme, what are the points which we need to remember? Under the liberalized remittance scheme, total outward remittance has declined to $28.98 billion. This is correct. Remittance for overseas education has declined. बिल्कुल सर, जो पैसा overseas education के लिए घर वाले यहाँ से भेजते थे वो कम हो गया. And it has declined by 20.9%. This is correct. Remittance for international travel has increased during the financial year 2025-26? नहीं sir, this is wrong. International travel के लिए जो outward remittance है, that has not increased, rather it has decreased. Overseas investment through LRS has increased. Overseas investment, तो पैसा आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं थ्रू LRS, that has increased. This is correct. Remittance for purchase of immovable property abroad increased. That is correct. Remittance for the purchase of immovable property abroad has increased. This is correct. So answer to this particular question is B option. अरे भाई समझ आ रहा है? I hope you guys are enjoying. Say yes or no. जो लोग तो पेड बैच से हैं, they must be in a position to recall whatever they have studied, because all these questions which I am discussing, the same news have been covered in your weekly as well as monthly PDFs. So I hope you are in a position to answer it for sure. Okay. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. The next question is related to NPCI is considering linking ATM fees to the wholesale price index. This is correct. इसे जैसे जैसे wholesale price index बढ़ेगा, ATM fees भी बढ़ जाएगी. This is absolutely correct. The current ATM interchange fee is 19 rupees per transaction plus GST, which can go as high as 23 rupees. Basal, this is the base fees which you have to pay. Basel Pillar 3 primarily focuses on enhancing market discipline through disclosure. बिल्कुल सही है. And RBI has asked the banks to disclose it from 30th of September 2026 onwards on quarterly basis, and the entire format on which the announcement will be done, that has been declared. Pillar 3 disclosures are required only for listed banks. So Pillar 3 disclosures are required only for the listed banks. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है सर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It has said the banking entities. उसने कहीं mention नहीं किया listed banking entities or not. So they are just saying banking entities. So this is wrong. SEBI has proposed including intraday strike price in option contract during the market hours. This is correct. SEBI has proposed that intraday introduction of strike price based on market movements. This is correct. तो इसके हिसाब से अगर हम देखें तो आंसर क्या बनेगा? बी ऑप्शन. थोड़ा सा आई वुड लाइक टू डिस्कस दिस इन डिटेल. यहाँ पे मैंने थोड़ा सा फॉर्मेट ऑफ क्वेश्चन चेंज किया. आई डोंट नो वेदर आई एम राइट और रॉन्ग, बट मैंने चेंज किया. मैंने क्या किया, 3-4 न्यूज को मिलाकर एक क्वेश्चन बना दिया. मुझे लग रहा है कि अगर आरबीआई ने ऐसा किया तो यू शुड बी इन अ पोजीशन टू आंसर इट. तो एनपीसीआई पहले चलते हैं एटीएम वाली न्यूज पे. सो एटीएम fees is charged during the interbank ATM transactions. Current interchange fee is 19 rupees per transaction. NPCI is considering increasing the interchange fee to around 21 to 22 rupees per transaction, and there is a proposal to link it to WPI. That's it. That's it. Next is RBI has given the draft for Pillar 3 disclosures 30th September 2026. You have to showcase the data. Third news is SEBI proposal on option strike price. So to ensure smooth trading during the period of high market volatility, this initiative has been taken. It will be applied on equity derivatives, currency derivatives, commodity derivatives. And what is the proposal? Sir, the proposal is daily review of strike price will be done. Real-time availability of the strike prices around prevailing market prices. There will be an introduction of intraday strike price based on the movement in the underlying asset. It will also maintain minimum number of in the money option as well as minimum number of out of the money options. Next point is strike prices far away. Strike prices far away from spot price may be reduced or may be removed periodically. अगर आपका strike price बहुत अलग है, बहुत दूर है spot price से, तो उसे periodically remove कर दो. Stock exchanges will publish and periodically review the framework of strike price. This is correct. So these are the announcements which have been done. दोनों announcements के basis पे हमारा जो आंसर बनेगा that will be B option. ठीक है जी, clear है, done. Okay. Okay. So guys, how many questions we have done till now? Okay, so we have done 22 questions till now, और मोटे मोटे 22 questions ही और pending है. If you guys want that, you want to revise May month finance current affairs, and then you want to come for this session, I can schedule part 2 of this session tomorrow at 9 p.m. If you are willing. If you guys are willing, I can schedule it at 9 or 8 p.m. depending upon Manish sir's class. तो जैसे मनीष सर की क्लास खत्म होगी, I guess his class is at 7, so I will be conducting a session at 8 p.m. part 2. अगर आप रिवाइज करके आओगे तो, अगर आपको सुनना ही है, रिवाइज करना ही नहीं है, तो मैं आज करा देता हूं. इट्स अप टू यू. बट आंसर्स नहीं आ रहे, दैट इज द रीजन. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कहीं ना कहीं वो कॉन्फिडेंस आप लोगों का शेक ना हो जाए. आई डोंट वॉन्ट यू गाइज टू शेक योर कॉन्फिडेंस. बस उसी लिए आई थिंक दैट वी शुड डू इट टुमारो. मेरे लिए तो काम बढ़ेगा, वरना मेरी कल कोई क्लास नहीं थी, लेकिन अब मेरी क्लास होगी तो मेरे लिए तो काम बढ़ जाएगा. अगर आप लोग रिवाइज करके आएंगे देन आई विल बी, आई लव टू टेक द सेशन टुमारो एज वेल. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. फाइन, इज इट फाइन? ओके then. ठीक है जी, तो नेक्स्ट क्लास पे करेंगे. दैट विल बी ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन. विल शेयर द पीडीएफ टिल दिस पॉइंट, and rest of the PDF will be provided to you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Good luck. Take care.